For over a decade, the world watched Britney Spears smile on stage, sell out arenas, and generate hundreds of millions of dollars, yet, behind the glittering lights, she lived under one of the most shocking legal controls ever imposed on a global superstar. Imagine being an adult, a mother, and a working icon, yet not allowed to control your own money, your career, or even your personal choices. This is not a movie plot. This is the real story of Britney Spears, a pop princess trapped inside a conservatorship that many now call modern-day exploitation. Today, we uncover how fame, family, and the legal system collided, creating one of the most controversial celebrity scandals of our time. Britney Spears' journey began long before the conservatorship, rooted in extraordinary talent and relentless ambition. Born in Mississippi and raised in Louisiana, Britney displayed star quality from a young age, eventually landing a spot on the Mickey Mouse Club, where she shared the screen with future icons. By the late 1990s, she exploded onto the global stage with Baby One More Time, transforming overnight into a cultural phenomenon. Her image dominated magazines, charts, and television screens worldwide. But with meteoric fame came unbearable pressure-constant media scrutiny, invasive paparazzi culture, and the impossible expectation of perfection placed on a young woman still growing up in front of the world. As Britney's fame intensified, so did the cruelty of public judgment. Every relationship, every mistake, and every emotional moment became global entertainment. The mid-2000s marked a turning point when her struggles were no longer private but broadcast relentlessly. Instead of compassion, she faced mockery. Late-night shows turned her pain into punchlines. Cameras followed her relentlessly, creating an environment where personal breakdowns were treated as viral content rather than cries for help. This period would later be used as justification for one of the most extreme legal decisions ever imposed on a celebrity. In 2008, a judge placed Britney Spears under a legal conservatorship, granting control of her personal life and finances to her father, Jamie Spears. Conservatorships are typically designed for individuals who are unable to care for themselves, often the elderly or severely incapacitated. Yet Britney, despite being labeled unfit, continued working nonstop. She released albums, performed in world tours, and later headlined a highly successful Las Vegas residency. This contradiction raised a haunting question. How could someone deemed incapable of managing her own life simultaneously be trusted to generate millions of dollars for others? For 13 years, Britney lived under strict control. She reportedly had limited access to her own money, was required to seek permission for personal decisions, and had little say in her career. Her phone calls, medications, and daily routines were monitored. While her brand continued to thrive, her autonomy vanished. Fans began noticing inconsistencies, cryptic social media posts, forced performances, and a visible emotional toll. Slowly, suspicion turned into outrage, as the public questioned whether this conservatorship was protecting Britney or imprisoning her. What began as whispers among fans evolved into a global movement. The Free Britney campaign challenged the narrative that Britney needed saving from herself. Supporters analyzed court documents, interviews, and public behavior, arguing that she was being exploited rather than protected. For years, mainstream media dismissed these concerns as conspiracy theories, but persistence paid off. The movement amplified Britney's voice when she couldn't speak freely herself, turning fan activism into a powerful force against institutional silence. In 2021, Britney finally addressed the court directly, and the world listened. Her testimony shocked millions. She described the conservatorship as abusive and humiliating, revealing that she felt controlled, silenced, and traumatized. The image of a pop star who had it all shattered instantly replaced by the reality of a woman stripped of her basic human rights. This moment marked a cultural awakening, forcing society to re-examine how fame, power, and mental health are handled within the legal system. Public pressure intensified, legal teams shifted, and scrutiny reached unprecedented levels. In late 2021, the conservatorship officially ended. Britney Spears was finally declared free after 13 years. The moment symbolized more than personal liberation. It exposed systemic failures and sparked international debate about conservatorship abuse. For Britney, freedom came with healing challenges, but it also restored something priceless: control over her own life. The Britney Spears conservatorship scandal is not just a celebrity story. It is a warning. It reveals how fame can erase humanity, how legal systems can be manipulated, and how public voices can be ignored for profit. But it also proves the power of collective awareness. Britney's story reshaped conversations about mental health, legal rights, and celebrity exploitation forever. Behind the headlines and pop anthems stands a survivor, one whose voice, once silenced, now echoes around the world.